In the history of true crime, there are moments where a mask doesn't just slip, it shatters on live television. You are looking at Stephen McDaniel. To the world, he was a concerned neighbor and a law student. But in this split second, right here, a reporter accidentally informs him that police have found a body. Watch the delay. Watch the processing speed. This isn't just shock, this is a calculation. Today, we aren't just telling the story of the murder of Lauren Giddings. We are performing a psychological autopsy on one of the most bizarre interrogations and behavioral displays ever recorded. We're going to analyze the robot of Macon, Georgia, breaking down his tactical silence, his physiological leaks, and the exact moment his arrogance gave him away.
Earlier, we don't know if it's the same person or not. That's why we're trying to ask people if they know who lived there. Are you okay, sir?
I think I need to sit down.
Okay.
The setting is June 2011, Macon, Georgia. Lauren Giddings, a bright, charismatic law school graduate, goes missing. Her friends are frantic. Her neighbor, Stephen McDaniel, is right there in the mix, helping with searches, posting on Facebook, and talking to the press. But beneath the surface of this helpful neighbor was a simmering, pathological obsession. When we analyze criminal behavior, we look for congruence. Does the suspect's verbal story match their body language? Does their emotional display match the situation? In the case of Stephen McDaniel, we see a complete detachment from reality. Analysts have studied his 12-hour interrogation for years because it presents a unique paradox. On one hand, you have a man who completely shuts down, monotone, still statue-like. On the other hand, his body is screaming the truth through micro-expressions and involuntary movements. By the end of this video, you will understand how a killer can control his voice, but cannot control his subconscious.
Why is it that everything that we get from you is yes, no, or I don't know?
I don't know.
To understand the interrogation, we first have to understand the dynamic. McDaniel wasn't just a neighbor. He was fixated on Lauren. While she was moving forward with her life, preparing to move away for a job, McDaniel was stagnant. Psychologically, this is rooted in entitlement and covert narcissism. McDaniel viewed Lauren not as a person, but as an object he was losing. When police later investigated, they found he had filmed into her apartment. He had stolen a master key. This wasn't a crime of passion in the heat of the moment. It was the culmination of a long simmering invasion of privacy. This context is vital because it explains his demeanor later. He believed he was smarter than everyone else. He was a law student. He thought he knew how the system worked. He believed that if he played the role of the concerned, slightly awkward neighbor, he would fly under the radar. He crafted a persona. He wore it like a suit. But the problem with wearing a mask is that you have to keep it on tight, even when you're hit with a sledgehammer. And that sledgehammer came in the form of a reporter from WGXA TV. Let's dissect the infamous interview. At this moment, McDaniel believes he has gotten away with it. He thinks Lauren's body is disposed of, hidden in a dumpster that has likely been emptied. He is chatty. He is offering theories. He is controlling the narrative. Pay close attention to this moment. The reporter drops the bomb. The body was found. Here is the mask slip. If this were genuine shock, we would expect an immediate visceral reaction, a gasp, a hand to the mouth, an immediate question like, where? Or is it her? Instead, we get silence. This is a cognitive load failure. His brain is processing two conflicting realities. Reality A. I killed her and hid the body. Reality B. They found the body. His brain has to calculate a new path before he can speak. The lag time is his guilt processing the error. Then, notice the shift. He goes from catatonic to exaggerated distress. I need to sit down. He begins to fake cry, but if you look closely, there are no tears. The affect is manufactured. It's what he thinks a grieving friend should look like. Psychologists call this acting out, the emotion rather than feeling it. Once the police bring him in, the strategy shifts. The chatty neighbor from the news clip vanishes. In his place enters what investigators and the internet have dubbed the robot. For over 12 hours, McDaniel employs a strategy often called gray rocking. In psychology, this is usually a technique used by victims to deal with narcissists, becoming so uninteresting and unresponsive that the aggressor loses interest. Here, the killer uses it against the police. He sits with his legs crossed, hands clasped. He rarely moves. His voice drops to a monotone drone. This is a tactical defense mechanism. He is a law student. He knows that talking gets you into trouble. By stripping his voice of inflection, he is trying to strip the interrogation of fuel. He is trying to bore the detectives into giving up. But there is another interpretation. This passivity also signals a pathological emotional detachment. A normal, innocent person, accused of a brutal murder of their friend, would eventually show anger, frustration, or desperation. They would plead. They would yell. McDaniel does none of that. He dissociates. He retreats into his mind, likely replaying his legal defenses, treating the interrogation not as a conversation, but as a chess match where the only winning move is not to move at all. However, the human body is not designed to hold a lie for 12 hours straight. Leakage is inevitable. While his voice says, "I didn't do it," his body tells a different story. Watch his head. Throughout the interrogation, he exhibits a repetitive side-to-side head shaking. This happens even when he is verbally denying knowledge. In behavioral analysis, this is often seen as a subconscious conflict, the body rejecting the lie as it is being spoken. It's a rhythmic, self-soothing motion, but it also signals internal disagreement. And then there are the micro-expressions. When detectives ask about Lauren's life, her other friends, or her dating life, watch McDaniel's mouth. You see fleeting, asymmetrical quirks of the lips. That is contempt. Even while being interrogated for murder, his jealousy bleeds through. He despised that she had a life outside of his observation. That smirk reveals his sense of superiority. He still believes he is the smartest person in the room, and he looks down on the detectives for trying to crack him. He isn't bored. He is seething. Stephen McDaniel thought he could outsmart the police with silence and a law degree. He thought he could act the part of the grieving neighbor, but he forgot that human communication is 90% nonverbal. The robot defense failed because it was too perfect, too rigid, and ultimately too inhuman. The mask slip on live TV gave the police the thread they needed to pull, and his behavior in that room confirmed what they already suspected. True crime analysis teaches us that while you can script a lie, you cannot script your autonomic nervous system. If you want to see more breakdowns of criminal psychology and interrogation analysis, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Let me know in the comments. Do you think his freeze was pure shock, or was he already planning his next lie? Thanks for watching.